Habarigani, Mainduga na Data in Kiswahili, translated as hello. How are you, my brothers and my sisters? Well, my brothers and sisters, I want to ask you a question in this video here. It's very relevant and very serious. And we must treat it and act accordingly to it if we want to survive as a people. Now, just a couple of years ago at the most, a project called the 1619 Project was put into effect and discussed by black lawyers and other black scholars in the USA. And they came up with this tome entitled the 1619 Project. Now, one thing about this project is white people came together in their schools to discuss their anger, their resistance to true history of the United States of America since 1619 and the context within which African or black people were transformed into property, legally that is, culturally no. Through humanity, no. They were still African people. But anyway, they don't want them to learn that black children, the ones they show no concern for whatsoever, were in reality the victims of their ancestors. Their ancestors transformed us illegally into chattel or property. And in that context, they raped our women, beginning with George Washington, the first president of the United States. Thomas Jefferson, who raped his women, his slaves. At least one of them that we're aware of, but he had children by her. And many of his descendants still live today. Likewise was your first president, George Washington. But they raped our women, man. Worked us from sun up to sundown without pay. For at least 275 years. They broke us physically, spiritually, and mentally. Sometimes the children they had by our ancestors were sold, separated from their mothers and sold, sometimes in different states to different plantations. And the mother and the child never saw one another again as long as they existed. It was an awful treatment. Boy. And after slavery, they began hanging us from trees and burning us on the altars of fire, killing many of us. My brothers and sisters, they need to bring this detrimental treatment of black or African people to an end, a conclusion. They must have enough understanding about us, enough feeling about us to understand that we are spiritual people. We have what is called soul. That's our spirit, our soul. Touching one another, embracing one another, getting a feeling for one another, which the world calls soul. We have soul. We have soul music, soul food, soul, etc., etc. But they must be taught true history, for white children are no better than black children. If black children suffered under it, the weight of all that terrible pain and suffering, from feeling alone and separated from their mothers forever, if they could live it and be the objects and subjects of it, certainly white children should be taught this history because this is their true history. It's not a lie as concocted by many historians today. See, one thing I know, what goes around comes around, what goes up must come down. You reap what you sow. So if you want to reap any terrible pains, white man, you need to start some repair on us for all the brokenness you've caused in us. Man, you don't understand. Because you are the Iceman. You are Urugu. You can't help yourself. That environment of ice and snow created you. Made you who you are, just as Africa made me who I am. So you need to do repair on us. Repair is known as reparations. So that we can heal ourselves and our children from the brokenness you've caused in us. Physical brokenness, spiritual brokenness, psychological brokenness, mental enslavement. We must find a healing for our children with reparations. You owe us reparations. You don't owe it to us, but you owe it to yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? They owe it to themselves to give us reparations, but our responsibility is to demonstrate to them in some power, in some form, that will convince them to understand that there was reparations or else. Reparations, repair. Our children is just as good as your children. They're equal. They are both humans. You and I are no different other than culturally different. And I have more melanin in my skin. And some of you don't even have melanin at all. You can't help it. You're Urugu. Iceman. Your environment formed you just as mine informed me. So listen, my brothers and sisters. Let's demand reparations. Reparations are due us. It's not anything we are begging for or asking for, other than our back pay for our ancestors, of which we are their descendants. I hope you understand what I'm saying. In world law, the descendants receive the inheritance of everything their ancestors have accumulated or contributed to the world. So we want our reparations. We want repair. We want you to fix what you've broken us. On both levels. spiritual and the physical. We want you to heal. And the only way you can heal is if you return what you stole from us. Reparations. Reparations now, Mr. White Man. And to you coons who talk about that was a long time ago, we need to get over it and move towards what progress, man? You are the lowest of the lowest. If you talk about we don't deserve reparations or we need to get up past reparations, we can't get past reparations while the man has our reparations in his pocket, thriving and living on it, giving it to other countries that are in war, his comrades, his friends. Look, I want what is mine, and I want what is yours. Reparations. Reparations be in the form of money, resources, materials, land, and anything else we as a people, not individuals now, but we as a people united, make the decision and decide that's what we want. Otherwise, you keep it. And when we get it, you ain't got nothing to do with it. You don't tell us how to spend it, when to spend it, or who to spend it with. We're going to utilize it through our organization to decide how the money is spent. If we give it the cash, everybody's going to get the same thing. And if we use something for buying land, and we're going to take it out of the money that's left, and everybody's going to have to vote on it. You understand me? Once again, y'all my black people, I want you to think about this now. We need and we must demand and demonstrate our demand that we must have reparations. There's no other solution. Reparations. Repair us. Once again, my brothers and sisters, peace and hotep to you.